Good morning, Saints. Well, y'all get into Benny Hinn. Y'all check out Benny Hinn. I'm gonna post the sermon here in the description, or his confession, as he puts it. So Benny Hinn is basically saying that this whole thing that he's been preaching for the last 20, 30 years, his whole prosperity gospel was a sham. I wish he would have added that the faith healing was also a sham. I don't know how old Benny Hinn is, but I suspect he's somewhere around 70 years old. I think Benny Hinn is probably tired of preaching, tired of traveling the world. When he preaches, he'll probably do it on television from now on. Basically, the career is over. He's collected the money. Now, y'all think I'm cynical and all this, but basically, I wouldn't be surprised if Benny Hinn is a billionaire. He's collected millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars for decades. And now he says that, it was all a lie. Don't run down here with no more, there'll be no more $1,000 lines. Right? The way I see it, Benny Hinn's retiring. Maybe you still hear from him, but he's basically retiring. He said, listen, I can't collect any more money. I would have no more use for any more money. It would have helped if part of his confession was, now we're going to build low-income housing in Calcutta or Africa or all these countries where we've traveled at and seen this horrible poverty, and even some places in this country even. We do a lot better than most countries, but there are issues here as well. Where he's been collecting these millions and millions and millions of dollars for, I don't know how long he's preached, 20, 30 years. Certainly since I've been aware of this Christianity mega church phenomenon. He's basically worked traveling. But maybe you'll talk more about it. But what are you going to do now with all this money you've collected, Benny Hinn? To get all the money you can possibly have, to be tired in your bones now and preparing to relax, is this the time to come out and say it was all a sham? So you're telling these poor people that's been giving you money all these years that, I took the money under false pretenses. You giving me $1,000 had never made any difference in your life at all. It's all in your head. But I'm not giving you your money back. See, there should be a massive refund, in my opinion. Something. Maybe you can't find every individual that gave him money through the years, but there are a lot of little poor old ladies hoping to see Jesus and giving this man their Social Security check for eons, for years. So unless Benny Hinn, unless you're going to give back some of these riches that you collected under the guise of making people spiritually blessed in some way, you now confess that it was a lie. What about the money? We know that this man was raided by the FBI a few years ago. We don't know whatever happened with that situation. Is he being forced out of his ministry? See, Benny Hinn is not above lying, because when his wife divorced him and he heard about it on the radio somewhere, he came immediately online to make this long sermon. There was no infidelity. I don't know why she did what she did. It was no infidelity, like there was no problem in the marriage at all. He's not above lying. What was that thing with him and Paula White in a hotel in London? I don't know that you're necessarily ever going to get the truth out of Benny Hinn. I think him confessing that he's been stealing this money from these people under false pretenses for all of these years, and then not giving any of it back is a bit of a sham. I think he's probably tired of being on airplanes. He's in his 70s now. I mean, how much longer would he be able to go on doing this? He's come to the end of it now, and now he says it was all bullshit. I wish he would have talked in his confession a little more about these faith healings. Remember, Benny Hinn is the one that, I can see. Oh, my arm, it works. All the theatrics, just extraordinarily dramatic theatrics of these miracle healings he's been doing for all the same amount of time he's been preaching prosperity gospel? Is he going to confess about that as well? Is Benny Hinn going to put up low-income housing in New York City, Boston, the Midwest, small towns, all the places where he's taken money for years under false pretenses? Is he going to give any of that money back? He should. He should have more than enough to do something, like do some things, make some differences now, Benny Hinn. Since you've done all this and you've lived large all these years, maybe now, instead of just leaving all the money to your family so they can go on being rich, maybe you should do some philanthropy. Do some useful things. Put some computers in schools in some of these countries, these poor countries that you've taken all this wealth out of. What are you going to do there? If he will come and actually do something to repair the damage he's caused, repair all of the scams he's pulled, if he can fully confess about these miracle healings where he's restored people's vision and got people out of wheelchairs, and tell the truth about them people who were never really in wheelchairs, if he can tell the truth about all the actors involved in these miracle healings. Remember, he's gotten people getting off gurneys and so forth. If you can confess that you've been stealing money, this prosperity gospel, then what's the rest of the story, Benny Hinn? I'm not saying anything is wrong with confessing your sin. He says he's concerned now. He don't want to be judged when he gets to heaven. We don't know if he's gotten a health diagnosis or not. But love is a do word. I've done wrong, and I want to try to repair some of the damage I've done. That would impress me. But Benny Hinn, your history, your about of lying, of conning, goes so deep that you would really have to do some makeup work before I would believe that this is really some sincere confession of wrongdoing. I don't know what the motivation is here. I don't know if he's still been in federal investigation. Remember, the FBI raided his home, a preacher's home. What happened with that? We don't know what goes on behind the scenes. But just to collect all these money, let's just say, we're just saying $1 billion. To collect $1 billion and hoard it for yourself and keep it for yourself. To maintain the castles and the royal life which you live off of this money. I think it's bullshit. Forgive my French. Do something. Now, let us see you do some good. Make it all make sense. You could probably live off the interest of all the money you've collected through the years. You could live all the $1,000 lines promising people they're going to have prosperity in their house if they give you $1,000. Oh, you'll get a certain kind of prosperity if you get $500. Whatever you can get, every dime you can pull out of them. Maybe you feel guilty about it. You should. You should. I think these miracle healings is even more of a story than your prosperity preaching. I guess people want to believe you took advantage of that. You saw a weakness, and you capitalized on it. You took advantage of that for years and years and years and years, and from very poor places. Some of these countries you would visit. Now, what can you do to make good on it? That's the sermon I want to hear. This is just a confession. I guess it went on for about 4.5 minutes. 4.5 minutes for 30 years of thievery and deceit, conning. You conned all these people. But people, even he's con man or not, listen to what he's saying. Because if Benny Hinn is lying, then the rest of them are lying as well. The rest of them are lying as well. Keep those hundreds you brought to church, keep them right there whether you brought them, in your purse. Benny Hinn's confessing he's lying. He is not unique. Prosperity gospel. Give us all your money and you'll become rich by giving you their money. Only people who became rich from that, them, the preachers, their ministries. So, perhaps some good can come from this. We can know that it's all been bullshit. If you take that from it, then it is valuable, what he's said. I don't know what his motivations are, but I am a suspect, cautious type person. And I believe that Benny Hinn is simply retiring. So now he's damning the very thing that brought him his wealth. Until he starts giving some of that wealth back, I'm not convinced. But you guys make your own opinion. Okay? All right, I'll link it in the other room. Okay, people. God bless you. Watch those wallets. And I know how you must feel. Those ones who truly do give to this kind of stuff. You say, well, God damn, I've given $30,000 of my family's money. And all I get is, I was wrong.